Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about my dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 10 favorite American Girl dolls, which is a sort of sequel or follow-up to a video I did exactly 6 months ago today called my top 5 American Girl dolls. But back then, I only had about 80, which I know only 80 is still a big number, but now I think I have about 125, maybe 130 at this point. And I always thought I would want to revisit it and see if my numbers had changed. But because the number of my dolls is so high now, I decided I'm going to exclude the top 5 that I had the last time I did this video. So this will be like a new top 10. And I don't really know at this point if I included the top 5, if these would all make it in. So this is like basically a top 15. I'm cheating a little bit, but I'm still going to call it a top 10 because it was too hard to narrow it down. And I'm taking a little bit of a longer intro here because in the thumbnail, the question I posed was how many can you guess? I kind of mean that for anyone who has seen my other videos, because the thing is, I talk about certain dolls all the time, and it's probably going to be obvious that some of these dolls will probably be very obvious, and maybe a couple will be like, really? He likes that doll so much? I had no idea. So I'm going to start with the doll that is probably going to be the most obvious because she's new, and I just did a video about her, and she's very special. And this is one of my two pink Stardust holiday dolls, and she's the one I opened up, obviously. And if you already saw behind me, when I started the video, the other one is there, and so are the other top 5 dolls. By the way, I forgot to say that. It's okay. And I decided that the one I opened, her name is going to be Keana, because it's kind of a little tiny. It's a little bit like a mashup of Tiana and Claudie. And originally, I just thought she was going to be limited edition Claudie, but I made her a modern girl, and she's wearing this is a Maple Leaf outfit called Paws and Kittens, I think. And I haven't hand washed it yet to just be safe, because whenever you're putting clothes on your American Girl dolls that aren't American Girl branded outfits, you have to be careful, because if there is any dye transfer, your dolls won't be American Girl won't warranty them or guarantee them. So it's just like no matter what I try to put on my dolls now, I will remember to, or whatever I put on my dolls now, I'll try to remember to make sure they're dye free. And even though I just did a long video about like unboxing her and talking about her, I had a chance to fix up her curls, so I think she just looks that much better. And aside from that, she's got all her jewelry on, and to be honest, now that I've had a couple days with her to assess the outfit she comes in, the dress, it's very cheap and it's cute because it's pink. And I think a lot of girls, kids, not just little girls, would probably like it because it's such a bright pink. And I'm for it too. And in a box, it looks nice because you can't feel it. But I'm going to have a lot of outfits for this girl because uh, she's going to have to be spoiled. I just think pink's going to be her color because of her jewelry and her lips. And yes, I'm talking about her as long as I possibly can, but she's still going to be on screen for the rest of the video. So I might as well move on to my next doll. And so this one is a doll I've shown quite a bit. And it is a fluke that she's wearing Maple Leaf as well. But this is my second CYO doll that I made designed or whatever myself. And she's an Addie mold in the medium skin tone. I should take off her glasses, because there's going to be something that you'll notice with a lot of these dolls, or as many as possible. A lot of them will have these light brown decal eyes because they're my favorite. And so what I was mentioning earlier about putting non-American Girl branded clothes on your American Girl doll is the dye transfer. This was one of the outfits that happened. This is the first time that it happened for me that I know of. Christy at AG Takes Over warned me that it happened to her. So I then did like a vinegar soak, and I'm just going to do a little check now, because I did everything I could to all the methods of trying to, get the dye to fade, but nothing worked. So I'm just going to see if it's any worse or any better, because I was kind of hoping, no, it's the same. I was wondering and hoping if maybe over time it would fade and, at least not get worse, but it looks the exact same. So I don't know if it's going to be visible on camera, but she's got some dye transfer in here. And The thing about this sweater is it was designed with Maple Leaf dolls in mind, which have thinner limbs. So because it sits so tight on the American Girl body, Maple Leaf thinks that might be the issue. So anyway, I'm I'm not devastated because she's always going to wear this outfit because it's part of her character. To me, I think it makes her look like a cool girl, and not a lot of my dolls have that kind of a vibe. But there's just something really cool about Danae, even though I don't remember picking her name at all. And to this day, sometimes I'm just like, what the? I mean, I know I picked it out late at night, but was I, not in my normal headspace? Anyway, so she's always like, since I've had her, she's, jumped to the top of my favorites list. And I love red hair on dolls. So she's got a lot going for her. I mean, I picked her out myself. So I love the textured hair. I think it looks very luxurious on the dolls. And before American Girl, I had never had any experience with textured hair. And I used to collect, I'm just getting a little off topic, but I used to collect Integrity Toys. And even though it's a black owned company and they're known for their, what would you call it, racially or ethnically accurate sculpts, they never used textured hair. So this was just something I didn't even really know existed until American Girl. And now I'm going to go to a doll that should be really, really obvious. This is my very first Samantha doll, and she's Pleasant Company. I can't say for sure she's a Dreamer doll, but I feel like she is because her eyes are just, I don't have any other dolls that really have this kind of, the way the eyes sit, so I'm convinced. And it doesn't mean I'm right, it just means I believe it, and so I guess that's all that matters. For the sake of my collection, she's a Dreamer doll. And before I fell in love with this doll in the pictures and wanted to get her for my birthday, Samantha was my least favorite. I wouldn't say of all dolls, but she was definitely my least favorite of the historical dolls, and especially of the original three. So I thought I would never ever have any of her in my collection. And then because of this girl, I now think I am up to 6. One of the Be Forever, and then 5 different Pleasant Company Samanthas, because I recently got another one. I haven't had any reason. She's probably been in the background in a video or two, but I haven't any reason to talk about her. Oh, and I haven't found that perfect outfit for her yet. I have one in mind, so I'm kind of looking, like my eye is open for this one outfit that's a PC Samantha outfit. And it's like I kind of fear saying things in my videos of like what I'm looking for, because then they do show up, which I know was the point. It's like I'm trying to look for these things, but it's like whenever I talk about something, or if I say I'm done, because I swear I've said I'm done with Samantha at least 3 times, and I'm up to 5, so just never say never. And just for me and my sake, I just need to stop talking about it. And there's just something really special about this doll, and that's why I got her in the first place. It's that squishy vinyl. And before her, I didn't know that was the case with Pleasant Company dolls. And I must have 11 or 12 of the Pleasant Company dolls at this point. So I'm actually going to move on to another Pleasant Company doll. And this is American Girl of Today 12. And there is no denying how precious she is. So like the Samantha beside me, she's got that soft, squishy vinyl. And there was just a special quality about there is a special quality about the older dolls. There was just something they were doing back then that just has faded more and more and become more and more obscure over time. And I'm not blaming Mattel, I'm just saying, something was lost, things develop, they evolve or whatever. But she is just the cutest doll, the cutest Girl of Today doll I've ever seen. And I mean, granted, I'm still, even though I have so many dolls, I'm still kind of, maybe not an amateur or a rookie, but novice. So it's like I'm always learning things and going, oh, I love that too now. I wish I didn't know that existed. So I've got her in of the velvet, what is this called? It was Just Like You, the velvet dress, and then she's got Samantha's muff and winter hat. And because this to me reads as very 1960s, I've made her Melody's best friend in my world. And she's been wearing this winter outfit pretty much the entire time I've had her. So I'm probably going to have to change her soon. Fall's right upon us, and she's going to still be wearing her winter outfit. And so yeah, these are in no particular order, by the way. I'm just blah, 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 blah. And I forget all these points I'm supposed to make when I start. But yeah, I would not be able to put my dolls in any order. It's literally hard enough to pick out 10 of my favorite. So here's another doll who has decal brown eyes, the light decal brown eyes. This is technically Rapunzel. So when I got her, I wanted her because this is the playline Rapunzel, and I wanted her because of the super long hair and made her really unique. And I love freckles on dolls, which she has. But when I got, oops, sorry, she's on a different doll stand because her roller skates make her too tall. You know what I mean? So she just looks beastly if I put her on a platform kind of doll stand. But when I got her in person, what I was trying to say is, I my first impression about her eyes was it was really wrong for Rapunzel, and then my second impression about those eyes was they're really ugly. I didn't like the color, don't like the color, and if I'm correct, they were originally used for Marie Grace, and so that's a doll I had no interest in, and I especially have no interest in her now that I know that she has that color eyes, and they're like a gray blue. I don't know if I said that already, and I just don't like how they look on the dolls. And there's nothing facetious or unkind about it. I just don't like it. But with her having, I don't know if I got her close enough to show you the decal dark light brown eyes. These are just such. I don't know what it is about these eyes, but there's something almost like magical about them. So when a doll has them, there is like an 86% chance I'm going to love that doll at the top, like put that doll at the top of my list, and the dark brown decal eyes for that matter. So having said all that, here's a complete opposite of everything I just said. Oh, no, not really, because she's a redhead. So this is the limited edition Anna doll from Disney's Frozen. Probably pretty obvious. I haven't had her very long, and so, well, I mean, they haven't been out very long, so I haven't talked about her very much. But the unique skin tone, and I could say the same for Elsa. She's not on this list, by the way. But I could say the same for Elsa. It's just there's something a bit more endearing about the Anna doll, even though I think I prefer Elsa as a character. Yeah, I prefer Elsa as a character. I don't know why I said I think. But the doll wise, this girl has just so much going for her. The red hair, the cute braids. I'm very tempted to repurpose her in my collection. I'm like, she and Elsa might just become American Girl dolls and not Disney dolls anymore, because I have redressed her and she just looks so cute. And I've seen so many pictures of people with their Anna dolls redressed or maybe, repurposed as different characters. And it's like, we all keep saying when the playline dolls come, when they come, but we don't know that they're going to come. We just think that because of Rapunzel. And I think it's almost like maybe American Girl made a mistake releasing Rapunzel about a year later. So now we're just expecting, and there should be playline dolls of Anna and Elsa because they're so popular with the kids. But we just don't know. So that's why it's like I might, I won't do anything drastic like change her hair, but I might just like redress her and do other things with her because she's so unique. And again, with freckles, right? She should have freckles. She has freckles. They're just so soft. I'm looking at her on the monitor, glancing, and I couldn't really see the freckles. So here she is. She's got bright blue eyes and just a really, really pale skin tone, paler than Cinderella, but not as pale as Elsa. And I have almost all the skin tones now. Well, I actually do, but I haven't opened one of the dolls. It's just been, I've been busy with my videos that I haven't been able to, but that'll be next. And so what else I love is all the Swarovski on here, but I just think because I don't want her to be like a display, sit her in a box and never like, use her on my different displays, like have her mixing and mingling with the dolls. I feel like she should have a more casual outfit. And I think I talked more about it than I expected to. And then the next doll, I'm probably going to have a little bit more to say. And it's Ivy. She is definitely, I don't know, what I put her in my top 5? Possibly, because she's got the dark brown decal eyes. And not only is she a doll I kind of struggled to get and kind of thought I never would. I dreamed about it and thought, would I ever spend that much on a doll? She would have to be in like a certain condition and a certain price for me to get. And then I've told this story quite a bit, but now I've actually found out the rest of her story. So I bought her from somebody locally. I bought other dolls from before, and we'd had lots of American Girl conversations. So she was somebody I considered like an early like American Girl friend or acquaintance or, like community member. So when she had this doll for sale, I was just like scrutinizing the pictures, like how did this doll come to be? Because she had sent her to the doll hospital, so she was basically brand new. And because I've talked about Ivy on here a couple times in that story, the person who sold her to me eventually saw the videos, or one of the videos where I talked about it. So she messaged me to let me know the rest of the story, and she didn't say to share it, but she must know by now I have a big mouth and that I probably would. So I think she'd be okay that I am about to tell the story. But it's me telling her story. So if something I'm saying doesn't sound like it makes sense, or it just sounds incorrect, it could be that I'm doing a little bit of broken telephone here, and it's just my understanding of the story and how I'm relaying it. But anyway, so she had bought her Ivy doll on a Facebook doll group. And I think when she bought the doll, she didn't realize that the eyelashes on one of the eyes had been cut. So she was sending a few dolls to the doll hospital. One of them was Ivy, and I think it was just to get her eyes replaced. So if that's not a thing and I misunderstood, that's my fault. Sorry about that. So from what I understand, she was trying to get Ivy's eyes replaced because they have the dark brown decal eyes in stock, along with 5 of the dolls, so 6 dolls in total. And so when they sent the dolls back to her in Canada, the American Girl courier lost the package with all 6 of her doll hospital dolls. And I've never sent a doll to the hospital. I don't know how expensive that would have been, but considering the US to Canadian exchange rate on our money, it was probably a little, like a small fortune. And, she had already overspent on the doll, from what I understand, I think because she didn't know the eyelashes were cut. And again, I could be mistelling that story, or parts of it. And so she was really upset, like emotional, like she had all these dolls that she had spent so much money on. And I think, like, you don't expect, like, these are doll hospital dolls. And one of them was Ivy, who they didn't have a replacement for. So she had to, speak to them and, just express her sadness. And I mean, I wasn't there, but I would probably cry if I were in her shoes. So maybe she cried. I don't know. And so they ended up finding all the dolls that they had lost. Finding as in like replacements, because the doll that courier was gone. And so she's not 100% sure, the person who sold it to me, but she thinks it could have been a Truly Me 54 who they gave Ivy's eyes because, in stock, they were going to replace the ones she had, and possibly cut her wig or gave her an Ivy wig. And so at first, when I heard that, I was like, oh, she's a Truly Me 54. And I was like, wait a minute. Truly Me 54 with Ivy's eyes and cut hair is Ivy, because they are literally the exact same mold, because they're the Jess mold, but with altered eye sockets. And if you ask me what the alterations are, I couldn't tell you, because I do not catch those nuances or those little, like, the minutia when it comes to these sculpts and stuff like that. I can't even tell the difference between the old and the new Jess mold. I think it's because I just don't have enough of the Jess mold dolls. And with Ivy in my possession now, it would be really hard for me to fall in love with a Jess mold doll more than I love her. And I love her not just because of the rarity of her and that she's not available anymore and she's a highly sought after doll. I didn't know what it was I loved about her so much, because before her, I didn't know that there were dark brown decal eyes. I just thought she had dark brown eyes. And then when I was, trying to figure out what was so, like looking at everything being like, that is her, right? What if it's a doll that they're pretending is her? And so that's when I was like, oh, she has the same eyes as Samantha and Claudie. So anyway, I hope that story wasn't too long. I probably should have saved it for a little bit later in the video, but I actually reached for her out of order. So next I'll talk about a doll, one of my top favorites, who, even though I have shown him a lot before, I don't think I've ever expressed how much I really like this doll or love this doll. And it could be because he's my very first CYO, but it's probably because he has the light brown decal eyes. So this is Kaya Mold doll, medium skin tone, freckles, and the blonde curly wig. And to be honest, I don't think I've seen anyone else use this wig. And so now it's probably a time I can show you the weirdness of getting, am I close enough, am I going to be able to show you? Because he's got I was always planning to put this outfit on him, but it's a good thing I was, because if you look here, you could probably see that the wig band shows under his hair. So it's like you kind of want to, like, I don't know, glue it down or push down. It's a really unique wig though, and it's the only way to get it is in the CYO shop. And I think I've talked about him into the ground, but one thing is, his name is Blaine, which is my name, the name I put on the package, because I thought, you put your own name on the package, it's the doll's name, and I've said that so many times. But I think one thing I've never talked about when it comes to his name, which is my name, is that, when you grow up with a rare or uncommon name, you hate it. So as a kid, I always wanted to be called, like, Mike or like Mark or just some like really common name, because you know how many times I would meet someone and they'd be like, "What's your name?" Blaine. And so like I would, to this day, I will respond to Blair or Brian because I've been called that so much in my life. And it's not like I'll respond and like I think that's my name. It's like I respond because I'm like, it's not worth trying to correct people because it's really hard to get people to, I don't know, pronounce Blaine or understand the name Blaine. So I, another stupid story, in the fourth grade when we started French, the teacher came in and he was going around reading all the names on that we had to write our name on our desks. And he looks at my name and he's like, Blaine, Blaine. Like, I think he took a name that's already gender neutral and just turned it into a girl name. And so at the time I was like, oh, is that how you say my name in French? But again, my name is just, I think by now, I've actually never met another Blaine in my life, aside from my doll. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things where I always wanted to be called any name that was common. But as an adult, I think anybody would attest, if you have an unusual name as a kid, you love it as an adult because it just becomes so you that nobody could associate your name with anyone but you. I did not mean to go off on that tangent. I did, but not that long. So now let me just jump to another doll on my top 10, and that should be no surprise. It's Cecile. She's a doll I got, or I didn't buy it at the same time as Ivy, but no, that's not true. I had Ivy first. I was about to tell a lie. All these dolls blur together, and to be honest, it'll be so easy to tell if I'm a liar because now I unbox them all on here. So it'd be like, he said he got them on the same day, but Ivy I actually got in April. And something I forgot to mention about Ivy is everybody kind of suspects that she's going to be coming back soon because they've, you know, they've been featuring these dolls and they've re-released historicals. And I didn't give Cecile any time, but they've been saying it about her too. And it's just like one of those things where I don't know if it's coming back, but my Cecile, sorry, I don't know if she's coming back. That was kind of weird, rude wording. I don't know if she's coming back, but if she does, I'd probably be okay with the fact that I spent a lot on her. And I say that because she would look really different because of the mold has evolved so much. And I don't know what they would do with her hair because they've already given Cecile 2 different wigs. This is the one I believe is the second wave of the Cecile wig, where it's kind of reminds me of Claudie's wig, except Claudie's not on the table. She's behind me though because she was in my last top 5. So it's like very like spirally, but it's unique from Claudie. It's nothing like the first wig that they released her in, which was like those long sausage curls that they still have in the CYO shop, etc. Speaking of the CYO shop, my one last doll is also from the CYO shop, and her name is Hope, and she's an Addie mold. I'm hoping now I can be able to get her in close enough, because the thing that you'll obviously probably expect at this time is she's got light brown decal eyes. And when I designed her, I wanted to create a doll who looked like a black character or a black doll with albinism. And so I went with Addie, and the lightest skin tone that the shop has to offer. I'm going to try to make room for her, which isn't light enough, granted, to look like she has albinism. But when I put her around the other dolls, she looks fine. Like I think it has the right effect. I gave her freckles just because freckles are cute, and there aren't enough dolls with freckles. And same thing with glasses. There aren't enough dolls with glasses. And she's just wearing the CYO outfit that she came in, and I love it on her, so I have no reason to change it yet. I hope that's not boring. But one day they'll stop using this in the CYO shop probably, and then it'll look rare. And she's another doll with the really luxurious textured hair. And again, I feel like whenever I do CYO dolls, I want to do things that aren't available a lot. And I don't think there's been, no, I don't know what I'm saying. There's no way they've released a doll with blonde textured hair, the pale blonde textured hair, aside from the CYO shop. But the truth is, I don't think I will get another CYO doll because of the way they shot up in price. I just don't think $200 and what are they, $35 now, which is only $40 less than a limited edition doll that, they try to make us think is so luxurious with the Swarovski and, the delicate, what would you say, like the delicate fabrics, plastic, polyester, but more delicate version of polyester. And, they come in the beautiful display box, like the Claudie behind me, or the pink Stardust doll behind me. She's Claudie. And So that's why it's like when I think about CYOs, I was really excited too because I had, I think, at least 3 more planned, even though whenever I would do a CYO, I'd be like, this is my last CYO doll. So really, I should be grateful that they upped the price to a point where I'm like, it's just not worth it for me now. And just let go of the last 3 I had planned in my head because I know after those 3, I would probably want more and more and more and more. And so I'm actually really grateful that they shot it up the way they did. And so when I was saying that I had trouble narrowing it down to 10, I just jump all over the place. I know that. I'm sure you might know that by now. When I was saying that I was hard narrowing it down to 10, the 10th one, so she's like the 10th, even though I said they're not in any particular order. She's the 10th because it was kind of between her and Maritza, who I did sneak behind me. You can't really see her now. I think she's behind Rapunzel's head. Crystal. Oh, but I don't know if I said that, but in my collection, in my world, Rapunzel's name is Crystal. And so Maritza's hiding back there as a sort of honorable mention. More cheating. Which is also why the boy who's back there in the overalls, he's also an honorable mention, but he's not even an American Girl, so I think that's like, if it's cheating to put honorable mentions, he's especially cheating. So anyway, if anybody out there, I have to end this at some point. I could honestly, I think most of you would know that I could keep going forever talking about my dolls. But to anyone out there who tried to play along when I said, how many can you guess? Was it really obvious? Were there any that you're like, oh, I knew he was going to say those dolls? Or were you like, good? Or were you like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming? I doubt it. And out of all of out here, who would be your favorite? Because I know it's because she's new. It's the holiday, who I called Keana. And I don't think I said another thing in the beginning was the only rule I had going into this when I said my top 10 favorite dolls was I made a rule of there being only one Claudie mold doll. Because if I allowed, let's say, a top 10 and I was like any amount of Claudie dolls, you would probably just see mostly Claudie dolls up here, and that would be that would be a different video, which I probably will do an all my Claudie dolls video one day because there are a lot more than when I last did an all my Claudie dolls video. So anyway, thanks to anyone who played along or listened along or, just enjoyed seeing the dolls. And as I'm always saying, there are always more videos coming, so I will see you soon in the next one.